Hi guys, very warm welcome to the session. So once again, mock is around the corner. Let's discuss mock 17 quantitative aptitude. For people who might be a little disappointed, yes, the paper was made in a very weird manner. But do not worry, as eventually we are looking at the percentile game, and our job is to see that we are converting as many questions as possible from the given set of questions here. So we need to understand that if there is an easy question, we need to somehow convert it, or if the whole paper is moderate, we need to select a few questions out of the moderate questions. So let's look at each and every question and let's try to understand whether that should be doable or in what way we should be thinking to get those answers. Right. So if I look at this question, a standard question, guys, I also shared this kind of question in the daily quant questions. This is an age-old cat question, right? The numbers have been changed. Now the question says in the current poll, from Lahore City constituency, the number of votes not cast for Pakistan's People Party increased by 33%, 33.33 percentage over those not cast in the previous poll. So let's say I'm talking about in favor of the party and against the party. Now, not cast increased by 33 percentage over not cast in the last year. So I'm talking about last year and I'm talking about current year. Okay. So if last year the number of votes against were 3x, this year the number of votes become 4x. Clear? The only other candidate belong to Muslim League doesn't make a difference. So there are only two parties, right? So if there are a total of 4,50,000 people voted each time, so FIR would be 4,50,000 minus 3x, and in this case, 4 would be 4,50,000 minus 4x. And it says, and People's Party lost this time. So when it lost by a majority, right? Losing majority is the against guy is winning, right? So if this is for Pakistan People Party, okay, then this becomes the Muslim League. So Muslim League won in the current election. So the majority of current elections becomes Muslim League minus of 4,50,000 minus 4x, which was one third as large as the majority by which it won the previous election. That means it is PPP minus Muslims League because this guy won last time. So that is 4,50,000 minus 3x, another minus 3x. Right. So if I simplify this, what do I get? I get this as 8x minus 4,50,000. And I'm multiplying by 3. Let's cross multiply by 3 across. So this is into 3 and this is into 3. And this gives me 4,50,000 minus 6x. So this is 24x plus 6x becomes 30x. 30x is equal to 4,50,000 into 4. Clear? If 30x is equal to 4,50,000 into 4, now the question is asking you how many people voted for People's Party in the current poll. My job is to get the value of 4,50,000 minus 4x. Okay. So let's try to understand this. 0 and 0 gets cancelled. This is 3 ones are 315,000. Now 15,000 into 4 becomes 60,000. Clear? So our job is to calculate 4,50,000 minus 4 into 60,000. Now 4 into 6,000 is 2,40,000. 4,50,000 minus 2,40,000 will give me 2,10,000. So the first question was very much doable, slightly calculation intensive, but if you have seen the questions on elections, the very simple question, just that the terminology has been different. But yeah, since it's an old cat question, we should be aware of how to solve these questions. If not, I'd also share this in quant question of the day model as well, right? So let's move to the next one. Now, this was a beautiful question on time and work. If I would say this needed a bit of smart thinking to get the answer. Okay. Now, why does it need smart thinking? Let's try to understand. Lakshman, Madan, and Naman start a piece of work. Let's say L, M, and N. They worked at it for 5 days, after which Lakshman left. The other two continued for 5 days, after which Madan left, and the remaining work was completed by Naman in 5 more days. If Madan alone can complete the work in 30 days, and Naman alone can take more than 45 days to complete the work. Now, more than 45, right? The smarter thing you should have done is, let me take 45. If I take 45, this becomes how much, guys? This becomes 90. So this is 3, this is 2. Now, understand the smartness here. If the number of days is more than 45, then the efficiency will be less than 2. because the total work I'm keeping as 90, which is constant. Okay. Now let's understand. Let's say Lakshman does X units of work per day. Now all of them worked for first 5 days. So this is 5 plus X for the first 5 days plus Lakshman left. Now the other two continued for 5 more days. So 3 plus 2, 5. They continued for 5 more days. And finally, Naman completed the work in 5 more days. So this is 2 into 5. Now this is equal to 90. Now what do I have, guys? This is 25 plus 10, 35. 35 goes to the other side. This becomes 5 into 5 plus X is equal to 45. Sorry, 55, right? Yeah. 5 into 35 goes on the other side is 55. So 5 ones are 5 11s are, or the value of X is equal to 6. Now understand, guys. If it is 6, 3 and 2, okay? Now let's see. So total work done. So Lakshman worked for 5 days. So 6 into 5, that means Lakshman did 30 units. Similarly, Madan worked for how many days? 5 plus 5, that is 10 days. 10 is 3 into 10, which is again 30 units. And this guy worked for 15 days. 2 into 15 is 30. But we know that this is less than 2. If this is less than 2, then Naman would do the least work. Now, this is exactly 3, I know. So this guy does 30 units of work. If total work is 90 and Naman is less than 30, so can I say Lakshman is greater than 30? If Lakshman is greater than 30, then the greatest part of the work is done by Lakshman. This is the only smart thinking we need to look at. And if you look at the options, Lakshman did the greatest part of the work. Option D becomes your answer. So this is a very interesting question where you could have assumed 45. If the days taken is more, then the efficiency becomes less. Now, this is the smartest way in which you can solve this question, right? Let's move to the next question, guys. Now, the next question says that we have a perfume trader buys a bottle of 300 ml of French perfume at 780 ml. So what do I have here, guys? I have 300 ml of perfume is bought at what price? Is bought at 80 780 rupees altogether, right? So all I can look at here is, so we have CP of 300 is equal to 780. Now what is happening? Due to the increase in demand, the company decreased the quantity of the bottle by 1/6, keeping the cost of the bottle unchanged. That means the same cost is now the cost of 250 ml, because 1/6 of 300 is 50. Clear? Right now, what does the question talk about? Whereas the trader increased the selling price of the bottle by 25%. Now, this is a cost price. Okay. If on every ml of profit, the profit was 20% previously. So, can I say selling price of 300 ml earlier was 1.2 of 780? Now, this price increased by 25%. He did not change, he increased the selling price of the bottle by 25%, which means SP of 250 ml now is equal to 1.25, or we can have this 5 by 4 into 6 by 5. Okay, or leave that. That's into 1.2 into 780. This is the selling price of the bottle now. Clear, guys? So very simple question, direct, straightforward question. And now the question is asking us that find the selling price per ml up to 2 decimal points. So therefore, our required answer is 1.25 into 1.2 into 780 divided by 250. If you want to simplify, you need not use calculator. This is 125 into 12 into 780 divided by 250 into 100. So 125 ones are 125 twos are 2 ones are 2 6 are. Now simplified form becomes, again a 0 gets cancelled. 6 8s are 48, 8 I carry 4, 6 7s are 42, 42 plus 4 is 46. Clear? Did we miss out on something? Yeah, that's 1.2. No, 1.2 becomes 12 by 10 again. So 468 by 100, which will give you 4.68 rupees will be your required answer. Right. So not a direct, they're not a difficult question, guys. If you ask me from the first three, even if I exclude the time and work, because it's a bit of, what do you say? There is a bit of ambiguity in it. But otherwise, if you look at it, it becomes very easy for you to understand that it's a very easy question of profit and loss. So out of the first three questions, I'm expecting you to convert two, because this paper was slightly moderation nature, not very easy questions were given for you to convert, right? So you should be, I mean, this paper expected you to work a little more to get your answers, guys. Right now, again, it's a very beautiful question here, guys. Now, this question says that Banta Singh does a welding job in a shed that is of a cuboidal shape. So the base is cuboid, okay, like a roof, and surmounted by a half cylinder, which means if you see the top is covered like this on a half cylindrical roof, so that the air goes out. Okay. Now, the base of the shed out of dimensions 7 into 8, that is length into width is given to us. Okay. And the height is of 8 meters. The welding machinery occupies 300 m cube of space, and there are 25 workers, each of which occupies 0.08 m cube of space on an average. How much space is filled in the by the air, right? So if you understand, I want the free space. I want this free space. So volume of air is equal to volume of the cuboid plus volume of the cylinder, half cylinder, sorry, which is half of the volume of the cylinder. Clear? Minus the space occupied by machinery minus the space occupied by people. Now, what is volume of a cuboid, guys? Volume of a cuboid is L into B into H. So if I need to write down the formulas, these are the formulas you need to apply. L into B into H. Now, cylinder becomes half into pi into R square into H, minus volume of machinery given to us is 300, minus I have 25 into 8 divided by 100. Clear? Volume of people. Simple, right? The space occupied by people. Now, what am I looking at? L into B into H will give me 7 into 18 into 8. Now, half into pi we can use approximation as 22 by 7. Now, R will be, so I'll definitely apply a cylindrical roof across the length, which is the shorter side, right? So, therefore, 7 by 2 becomes your R. So, this becomes 7 by 2 into 7 by 2 into H. Clear? So, this minus 300 and this is 25 ones are 25 fours are 4 ones are 4 twos are this minus 2. Clear? So this will give you how much, guys? 7 into 18 is 56. 56 into 8, 8 6 are 48. 8 I carry 4. Yeah. 8 I carry 4 and 44. 448. Now there's 2, 2 and 2 gets cancelled here. Clear? Into H is, sorry, H is how much, guys? My bad. 17 into 18 into 8, right? Yeah. Now the height of the cylinder would be nothing but the width. That is the mistake that I've committed here. The height of the cylinder will be 18 here. So if I further calculate this, you can use your calculator to get your answer. Right. So since I'm building the cylinder across this shed, so height of the cylinder would be nothing but the width of the cylinder. Sorry, width of the cuboid. Okay. So this is 18. So if you simplify this, clear. So your complete answer here would become 1008 plus 346.5 minus 302. Clear? And effectively, if you calculate, your answer here becomes 1052.5. So you can use a calculator directly, guys. 7 8s are 56 and 56 into 18 is what we are calculating. So this is 6 1s are 6 and 6 5s are 30. Clear? So if you want to directly use a calculator, I'll just use a calculator here. That is 7 into 18 into 8, which is 1008. And this is half into 22 by 7 into 7 into 7 divided by 4 into 18. That's 346.5, right? So if you simplify, you get this answer, and therefore this is going to be your answer. So not a very difficult question, but yes, if you are a person who is not very strong at mensuration, uh, just get a clear idea of how this would look like, and that should be your complete answer, right? Another easy question. So this should be the third definitely solvable question out of the first 5 questions, guys. Right? So some children are sitting in a row. The nth child has n square chocolates. Okay. And every child has an average of 46 chocolates. So if you observe, the first child will have 1 chocolate, the second child will have 2 square, that is 4 chocolates, the third child will have 3 square, that is 9 chocolates, fourth child will have 4 square, and there are n children, and the last will be n square. Now the sum of all this, can I say sum of all this will be sum of the squares of first n natural numbers, that is n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6. Sum divided by number of students. This average should be 46. So if I cancel this, n into n gets cancelled here. So eventually what do we have here, guys? We have n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 is equal to 6 6 are 36, 6 I carry 3, 6 4s are 24, 24 plus 3 is 27, 276. Clear? So if I look at it this way, my answer becomes 1 into 276 because n is an integer here, n is the number of children here. Okay. Second thing that you can look at is to now understand whatever value you get, the value of n is minus 1. Okay. This is n plus 1 is equal to 2. So 2 into 138, which is not possible because if n plus 1 is equal to 2, then the value of n becomes 1. Here the value of n becomes 0. So this is also not acceptable. This is also not acceptable. Now is it divisible by 3? Yes, it is also divisible by 3. So this becomes 3 into 90. You go with 9s 92. Now again, if n is 10 plus 1 is equal to 3, n is equal to 2. If n is equal to 2, then I can't replace 2 into 2 plus 1 is 5, right? So will it go with 4? Yes, it also goes with 4. Now 4 into 4, 6, 69, which is again not acceptable, guys, because n is equal to 3. If n is equal to 3, you won't get 69. Then 5 does not go 6. Yes, so 6 into 4 is 46. Again, it does not go because n is equal to 5. 2n plus 1 hardly becomes 11. Clear? What is the next number that we can look at? Clear? So similarly, I go ahead with this as 8. 8 threes are does not go. 9 also does not go. 12. 12 goes. So let's try with 12 next. 12 does 7 go. 7 threes are no, 7 does not go, right? So 12 goes, right? 12 twos are 24 and I have 36. That is 23 or the value of n is equal to 11. Yes, this is satisfying. If I replace n is equal to 11, 2 into 11 plus 1 is 23. And this becomes n plus 1, right, which is equal to 12. So 12 into 23 is 276 and the value of n becomes 11. So you need not get into the quadratic equation form also, and you can always get the answer in this manner. Clear, guys? So these are the first 5 questions, or these first 5 questions you should have converted first 3. This is a very simple question on averages and the sum of squares of first n natural numbers, right? So this is a very easy question. So you should have definitely converted this, right? So now when I look at this question is a very beautiful question. In this question, if you observe, there's a line formed by joining 2 points. So we need to know the equation of a line by joining 2 points. Now, what is the equation of the line by joining 2 points, guys? The equation of a line by joining 2 points becomes y minus y1 is equal to, what do we get here? Y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 into x minus x1. Or I remember it as y minus y1 is equal to by x minus x1, right? So now if we replace these numbers, right? So y1 is equal to 1. So this becomes what, guys? Y minus 1. Clear? Right? Now x minus x1 will become x plus 1 because x1 is equal to minus 1 is equal to y2 minus y1 is equal to 6 and x2 minus x1 is also equal to 6. That is equal to 1. Or in short, we get y is equal to x plus 2. So I have one line called y is equal to x plus 2. I have second line called y is equal to 4 minus x. Now, if we equate these two, I will get the x and y coordinate, which is the point of intersection of these two lines, right? Now, if I write x plus 2 is equal to 4 minus x, then what do we get here, guys? We get 2x is equal to 2, or we get x is equal to 1. So x is equal to 1, and if I replace x is equal to 1 here, then I get y is equal to 3. So this is the intersection point of these two lines, guys, okay? Now it says divides the line x plus y is equal to 4 in the ratio of. Clear? So this line formed divides in what ratio? So now let me go ahead with this as the x and y coordinate of the point which is dividing in the ratio is 1:3. And let's say it's dividing the ratio into m:n. So now we can apply the section formula. What is section formula? That is mx2 plus nx1 divided by m plus n will be the coordinate of x, comma my2 plus ny1 divided by m plus n will give you the coordinate of y. Clear? So what is mx2? I do not know the value of ms to n from here. Clear? So x1 and x2 we can use from here directly. So mx2 plus nx1, which will give us what? Mx2 will give me 5m, nx1 will give me minus 1x1, sorry, minus 1n divided by m plus n is equal to 1, or eventually we have 5m minus n is equal to m plus n, or we have 4m is equal to 2n, or we get m is to n, or m by n is equal to 1 by 4, which is equal to 1 by 2, and therefore 1 by 2 becomes your answer. Clear? So not a very difficult question, because whenever you look at coordinate geometry, it's all about applying the formula. So one is I'm applying equation of a line, and the second is I'm applying a sections formula. So in case you're comfortable with coordinate geometry, you can get this answer, right? Now the next question is a very interesting question again, which is on simple interest and compound interest, right? Not in simple interest. I think it's a very commonsensical part. Avinash buys a Yamaha sports bike for a 1,20,000 rupees. Now he pays half of the amount in cash. Okay. So 1,20,000. So he pays 60,000 in cash. That means the remaining 60,000 has to be paid in installments. And the beautiful part is he's paying not in monthly installments, he's paying annual installments of 5,000 each. Clear? Now, since he's paying annual installments of 5,000 each, now what will happen here? If the rate of interest is 12% and he pays an interest due on the unpaid amount with the installment. Now, first year end, I will charge him 60,000 into 12%. This is the interest at the end of first 1 year, and is also paying an amount of 5,000 rupees at the end of first year. Clear? Now, since he has already paid 5,000, the principal value for second year now becomes 55,000. So 55,000 is the amount that is pending for that time, plus another 5,000. First installment, second installment, right? This is 5 into 12, 5 into 11. Similarly, when I go with next 10 more installments, your third installment becomes 50,000 into 12 by 100 plus 5,000, and so on, so on, so on. Eventually, the last payment amount will be 5,000 into 12 by 100 plus 5,000. Clear? Now, if you observe, I can do a very simple calculation here. I'm paying 5,000 12 times. Sorry, 5,000 12 times. And then I can take 12 by 100 common. Now this becomes 60,000 plus 55,000, and so on, so on, so on till 5,000. So 12 terms, right? So can I say the sum total here becomes average into number of terms? So this is 12 by 100 into 5,000 plus 60,000, first term plus last term by 2 into number of terms. Will be the sum total 12% of that, and then again I'm looking at 60,000. So this is 65,000. So this becomes 60,000 plus this gives me 2 ones are 2 6 are, this is 65,000, 65,000, and I am cancelling 2 zeros, that becomes 650 into 6. Clear? So if you do a simple calculation here, then 12 into 650 is 650 into 10, that is 6,500, and 650 into 2 is equal to 1365 into 650, no? 650 is into 1300, and therefore you get 7800. 7800 into 6 will give you 00. 6 is the 48. 8 I carry 4. 6 sevens are 42. 42 plus 4 is 46. This is 60,000. And the bike, he also paid 60,000 as down payment. So what's the total amount he paid? He paid a total amount of 1,20,000 plus 46,000. So that he paid 1,66,800. And this becomes the cost of the bike. Clear? So 1,66,800 is the cost of the bike, and that's going to be a very simple question that we are going ahead with. Clear? So again, a very easy and a direct question. Even if I ignore the coordinate geometry question, by now you should have converted these 4 in a very plain manner. See, and your job is not to keep on trying each and every question, guys. Okay. So your job is to see whether this question is doable or not, and then I enter into this question. Now, this is a very direct question. Therefore, I entered and I got out. Clear? Now, this is a very interesting question. Now, I always tell you that whenever it's a circle-based game, I definitely give my 2 minutes or 1 minute to it and get out of it. Okay. Now, in the figure, 2 equal chords are given. AB and CD are 10. OC is 13. Now, let me do one thing, guys. PB, and I want the length of OP. Let me only consider the chord AB. This is the point O. There's something called P here. Or let me slightly draw it conveniently for you. There's a point called P here. Okay. Now, if I drop a perpendicular from the center of the circle to the chord, this is P. Okay. Why am I using this? Let me tell you why am I using this. Because I know PB is equal to 3. Now, if I drop a perpendicular from the center of the circle to the chord, it bisects the chord. That means this part becomes 5. Clear? And this complete part becomes 5. Out of that part, this part is equal to 3. If this part is equal to 3, this part becomes 2. Clear, guys? Now, if I observe, this part is the radius of the circle. Now, radius given to us is 13. Now, this is 90. If this is 90, can I say this part is will be equal to 12 by Pythagorean triplets called 5, 12, and 13? Now, let's name this point as O dash, okay? So, I have a triangle O, O dash, and P. In that O dash is equal to 12. And I have O dash P is equal to 2, and it's a right angle triangle. So can I say the value of OP will be equal to 12 square plus 2 square whole root over, that is going to be 146 whole root over. Clear? Sorry, 148 whole root over. 148 will be 4 into 4 threes are 37s, right? So whole root over. So 4 comes out. This becomes 2 root 37. And therefore your answer becomes option D. So it's a very easy question, but yeah, the way the diagram was made confuses us. So ideally, if I use PB, I eliminate the chord called DC that is there just as a distraction for you. So if you eliminate the chord DC and you look at the figure, it becomes a very easy question. But yes, in these kind of figures, I do not expect students to convert these kind of questions. If you're converting, a good convert. Else, till now, we are looking at on a conservative side, we are looking at a total of 4 questions that we are talking about. Clear? Now, this question should not have been left for one simple reason. We had seen this question in the class. This is maxima and minima of a quadratic expression. The placement committee of an MBA institute decides to organize a student exchange program for its final year students. The entry fee per participant is USD $1,800. Okay. So entry fee per participant is $1,800. Now, the exchange program will be organized if a minimum of 40 students are there for every additional enrollment. Okay. The discount or refund of a USD $15 is given to each enrollee of the program. Clear? That means if one student has joined extra, then $15 is, so the logic is simple. If one extra student has joined, suppose 41, then the discount to each student is 15 into 1. If 42 have joined, that means 2 extra have joined, discount to each student becomes 15 into 2. If 43 students have joined, that is 3 students have joined, discount to each student becomes 15 into 3. So what is the discount? If X students have joined, the discount becomes 15X. Minus 15X. Now find the enrollments that will maximize the fund collection, maximum value of the fund collection. Fund collection is product of two terms. If I want the maximum value of a quadratic expression, I should not be leaving this question in the examination. So 18 fours gives me 72 followed by 3 zeros. Plus 1800x minus 600x will give me plus 1200x minus 15x square. So this quadratic expression will attain its minima at or maxima at x is equal to minus b by 2a. That is equal to minus 1200 by 2 into minus 15. Minus minus gets cancelled. 2 15s are 30. 30 into 40. Clear? So the value of x is equal to 40. That means 40 additional students have to join. And I also told you in the class, if you remember, be careful what is the question asking you. The question asking you, find the total number of enrollments. Now, total number of enrollments would give you 40 plus x are the total number of enrollments. This is country per enrollment. And this will give you your total fund. Clear? So therefore, total number of students to enroll should be 40 plus 40, that is 80. Only then the maximized funding will happen. And therefore, 40 is not your answer. Your answer in this question is going to be 80. Clear, guys? Let's move to the next question. Yep, let's look at this question, guys. Now, this question was a very weird question. If you make the equations, after making the equations, you should ideally leave this question. Okay. So if I understand, let's try to understand why do I leave this question. There are three mixtures. The first mixture contains 30% salt. Let's say I'm taking 100x. So 30x salt and pepper will be rest 70x pepper. The second contains 10% pepper. And then I'm talking about 90, or let's say 10y, and this is 90y. 100y and chili, and the third contains, let's say 100z, that is 15% salt, 15x 15z, this is 60z, and this is 25z. So what am I given? They obtain a mixture which is 40% chili. So 90y plus 60z divided by 100 times of x plus y plus z into 100 is equal to 40%. So this 100 gets cancelled. 0, 0, 0 gets cancelled. So you have 9y plus 6z is equal to 4x plus or 4 times of x plus y plus z. Clear? Now the question says the percentage of pepper in the new mixture cannot be more than. If I talk about pepper, there is 70x plus 10y plus 25z divided by, again I get 100 times of x plus y plus z into 100. Let's say is equal to k. If I take 100 and 100 gets cancelled, and if I replace x plus y plus z is equal to, so we have 70x plus 10y plus 25z. Worst case, I can write this as 9y plus 6z by 4. But if you observe, if this is equal to k, even if I use my options, this might be a very lengthy calculation. And trust me, this is a question which is not even required for CAT. So when I went into it and when I started solving, I thought this is not even required for CAT. So this question is ideally to be left in the examination, right? Way difficult than what is actually expected of you in CAT. So therefore, you can directly leave this question in the examination. Okay, now this is a lovely question that you should have definitely converted. Two trains of length 300 and 500 are moving in opposite direction, okay, crossing each other. At exactly the same moment, the mouse inside the first train started crossing each other. So position is something like this, okay? This is the first train and this is the second train. This is the engine of the first train, the rear end of the first train, engine of the second train, the rear end of the second train. Let's make something like this. Okay. Now there's a mouse. This is a 300-meter train. This is a 400-meter train. There's a mouse here. Now mouse is on the train. Okay. Now mouse is on the train, which can be assumed as a boat is on the water. Okay. When the boat is on the water and the water is also moving and the boat is also moving in the direction of the water, that is called a downstream. Okay. Now, mouse is moving towards the engine at a speed of 5 kilometers an hour. Speed of the first train is 50 kilometers an hour. Now, understand what is the effective speed of the mouse? The effective speed of the mouse or downstream speed of the mouse becomes 55 kilometers per hour. Train 2 is moving at 35 kmph, which means the relative speed, because both the bodies are moving in opposite direction. So their relative speed becomes 90 kilometers per hour, or this can be written as 25 meters per second, because 18 kmph is equal to 5 meters per second. 18 into 5, 5 into 5. Clear, guys? Now, when I move forward with it, now please understand the second train and the mouse is at the end of this. So relative distance, I repeat, relative distance is equal to length of the second train, that is 300. At the same time, excuse me, guys. At the same time, the second train has to cross the mouse. Look at this. Did the second train cross the mouse? If second train is crossing a pole, the length, the distance covered is equal to the length of the second train. So therefore, that becomes 400. So relative speed becomes 700. Relative distance becomes 700 divided by 25. That is 25 twos are 50. You have 200. 25 eights are. Clear. So after 28 seconds, I can see that the second train is crossing the mouse in the first train. So very beautiful question where the examiner has used upstream, downstream concept, relative speed concept, and beautifully the examiner has also used the concept on trains also. So you have to be a little careful in going ahead and calculating the whole process. Clear? Now, again, a very easy question, guys. As I told you, you should never leave a question on logs. Okay. Now, what helps me to understand how do I go ahead in this question? Let's look at this. This is base W x y z plus 1. This is base x w x w y z. This is base y w x z. So I can see a possibility of x y z. So if I want x y z, I can write this as log w base w is equal to 1. This can be written as log w y z base x plus log x base x is equal to 1, and so on. So if you simplify, this becomes log base w, and this becomes w x y z, plus this also becomes log base x, and this is w x y z, plus this becomes log base y, this becomes w x y z, and this becomes log base z, this becomes w x y z. So first funda that we applied is log a base a is equal to 1. Now what we will do, so if I have log a base b, I can write this as log b base a. Now why am I doing that? Because w x y z, if I can make the base, then all the logs will have the common base. So this can be rewritten as log w base x y z w plus this again becomes log x base w x y z plus this becomes log y, this becomes w x y z plus this becomes log z, and this becomes w x y z. So now the bases are same. If the bases are same, I can multiply them. So I can write this as log x, y, z, w, and I can multiply that as w into x into y into z. So finally, we are using again log a base a is equal to 1. and therefore my final answer becomes equal to 1. So very good question. In case this idea strikes your mind, you should have definitely converted this. But yes, because the paper is of moderate level, I would have expected you to at least convert the previous one. Clear? So we are looking at approximately, this is the 6th question that we should have converted in the examination, assuming that you have left the logs question. Okay. Now this is a question, pick up the hints from the question. You have P plus Q is equal to 12. You have M is equal to 17P square plus 8Q square. Find the minimum possible value of M. What is M, guys? M is an expression. Now pick up the hints. We only know to calculate the maxima or minima of a quadratic expression that we have. So which means I need to convert 17P square plus 8Q square into a quadratic equation, which means I need to convert this into an equations of one variable. Clear? So now let me write P is equal to 12 minus Q. So this becomes 17, or let me write Q is equal to, no? Anything is okay, no? Because if I take P square, then this will become long. So let's take Q is equal to 12 minus P. So I write 17P square plus 8 into Q square will be 144 plus P square minus 24P. Clear? So this gives me what? An expression in the form of P square, 17P square, then I'll get a plus 8P square. This is giving me 25P square. Then I have minus 24 into 8P. And then I have plus 8 into 144. Clear? Right? So this is a quadratic expression where the value of A is positive. So therefore, this is 25P square minus 24 into 8P plus 8 into 144. And I want the minimum possible value of this expression, which attains at P is equal to minus of B by 2A, that is 2 into 25. So this becomes 2 ones are 2 fours are minus minus gets cancelled, which is 96 by 25. Now your job is to just use calculator. This is 25 into 96 into 96 by 25 into 25 minus 24 into 8 into 96 by 25 plus 8 into 144. So this 25 gets cancelled. So you have 24 into 8. So I know that 24 into 4 is 96. So I can write this as into 2. So I can write this as 96 by 25 common within these two. I get a 96 minus. Or this can be written as 90. Yeah, this can be written as 96 into 96 into 2 by 25. So I can take 96 into 96 common. This is 1 minus 2. That's again a minus 1 here. Clear? If that's a minus 1, which means eventually what do I have? We have a 96 into 96 divided by 25, which is 300. And so we get a minus 368.64 plus we have 8 into 144, that is 1152 minus 368.64. That will give you 783.76, which is option D. So you should have picked up the hint that the minimum possible value of an expression. So therefore, we try to convert into a quadratic expression and we should have got this answer. So therefore, this becomes our 7th answer to solve in the examination. Clear? A very lovely question on heights and distances, guys. Nobita is standing on a ground. Clear? Flying a kite. So let's say Nobita is standing here. She's flying a kite. Clear? A string of 100 meters. Now, at an angle of elevation of 30 degrees. So let's have 30 degrees as angle of elevation. Nobita's friend Doraemon is standing on the roof of a 10-meter long building, high building, sorry. So this building is 10 meters high. Flying a kite at an angle of elevation of 45 degrees, and I want both and Doraemon on the opposite sides of the kites, of both the kites, right? Find the length of the string so that both the kites meet. So this, let's take it something like this. And I'm taking it something like this. So this is what I want. Let's say this is X. So what I do is I draw a perpendicular line parallel to the ground. Clear? And I drop a perpendicular from here also parallel to the ground. So this is 90, this is 90, this is 90, and this is also obviously going to be 90. So this becomes either a rectangle or a square, which I'm not aware. This is equal to 10. Clear? Now, if this is 90, then this becomes 60. Clear? Now, this angle of elevation is 45. So this angle of elevation also becomes 45. That means these two sides are equal. Now let's try to understand. In this triangle, the larger triangle, let me name this as A, B, C, D, and E. Okay. So in the triangle ABC, I can apply the rule called 30, 60, 90. If the angles are 1 is to 2 is to 3, sides are 1 is to root 3 is to 2. So if two parts is equal to 100, one part is equal to 50. So what is that one part? One part will be the side AC. This will be AC, this will be BC, and this will be AB. Okay. So AC is equal to 50. If AC is equal to 50, let me write this as O. And I know that OC is equal to 10. If OC is equal to 10, can I say AO will be equal to 40? Clear? So if AO is equal to 40, then I know that OE is also equal to 40 because it's a 45, 45, 90 angle. Clear? Or 1 is to 1 is to root 2. Clear? If AO is equal to 40, then this part becomes 1 is to 1 is to root 2. So second thing that you can also apply is 45, 45, 90. If the angles are in the ratio of 1 is to 1 is to 2, then the sides are in the ratio of 1 is to 1 is to root 2. If this part is equal to 40, this part will be 40 root 2. So the length of the string should be 40 root 2 so that both the kites should meet. So again, a very easy question, guys, on heights and distances. We have already seen angle of elevation and angle of the heights and distances concept here. So please keep that in mind and convert this question always. Clear? Right? Now, again, a very easy question that you should have definitely converted. A Toys Giant Store has a store at Westfield Spring Shopping Mall and Parramatta NSW, doesn't matter. Parramatta NSW in Australia. They sell 10 Technique sets, all of which are of the same cost price. Okay, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I write X, 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 and X. And profit of no two percentages have the same profit percentage. The profits made are on the given sets form an arithmetic progression. The profit made on the third highest, let me go in these lines, okay? So the highest, second highest, and third highest, and the fourth highest. Fourth highest is 13 percentage. Fifth, sixth, seventh highest is 10 percentage. Now, if it's arithmetic progression, basic thing is there is a gap of D. There is another gap of D. And there is a third gap of D. So 3D is equal to 13. Now 3D is equal to 3. So can I say D is equal to 1? If D is equal to 1, this will be 12 percentage. This will be 11 percentage. This will be 9, 8, 7. And this becomes 16, sorry, 14, 15, and 16 percentage. Clear? What is the profit percentage on all the 10 sets? So I know that 7 percentage of X, or let's say 100X if you take it, then that becomes 7X, 8X, 9X, 10X, so on is the profit. That means if I assume everything to be 100X, so the profit here becomes 16X, 15X, 14X, 13X, 12X, 11X, and so on, so on, so on till 7X. So sum of all this divided by 10 into 100X into 100 should be your profit percentage. So this 100 and 100 gets cancelled. X will get cancelled with the numerator. So sum of 10 terms in arithmetic progression. So average is first term plus last term by 2 into 10 is the sum total. Divided by 10 should be your profit percentage. 10 and 10 gets cancelled. 23 by 2 will give you 11.5 percentage should be your required answer. And therefore, key to 2 decimal points, your job is to apply 11.50 as your answer in this question. Clear? Let's move to the next question, guys. Now, this is again a standard CAT question. You should have solved this in the class. Even if not, let's try to understand. This is a standard equation. Always look at this as f of 1 plus f of 2, so on, till f of n is equal to n in n square into f of n. Now, whenever you have such long equation functions, always replace this as f of n plus f of 2, so on till f of n minus 1, so that you can cancel the remaining part, okay? Now, instead of n, I'm replacing n minus 1, so this becomes n minus 1 whole square into f of n minus 1. Instead of n, I'm writing n minus 1. So the best part to do is subtract them. When you subtract them, you cancel all this part till here. So what do I have? I have f of n is equal to, this we have as n square into f of n minus, this is n minus 1 whole square into f of n minus 1. Now let's take minus on this side, plus on this side. Excuse me, guys. Clear? So this becomes f of n, sorry, this becomes n minus 1 whole square into f of n minus 1 is equal to n square into f of n plus f of n, which can be now written as n minus 1 whole square into f of n minus 1, sorry, which is equal to f of n common. This gives you n square minus 1. So finally, what can we look at? So we can look at this as f of n divided by f of n minus 1 is equal to, right, f of n. So this becomes n square minus 1 can be written as a square minus b square, that is n plus 1 into n minus 1. And the numerator can be written as n minus 1 into n minus 1. So n minus 1 gets cancelled. Now remember, our job is to use f of 2000 and f of 1 or 2005. Clear? So all that we can do here is in a very simplified manner. If I want to use f of 2004, clear? Then I'll keep on going left, 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 left. So let's simplifiably write this expression as I'm writing it here, okay? My f of n or my nth term is equal to n minus 1 by n plus 1 into the previous term, f of n minus 1. Now let's understand f of 2004. What is 2004? That is 2003 divided by 2005 into f of 2003. Clear, guys? I'm erasing this part because I'll need a lot of space to calculate. So let us write this as here f of n is equal to n minus 1 by n plus 1 into f of n minus 1. Okay, so f of 2004 is equal to 2003 divided by 2005 into f of 2003. Now what is f of 2003? If I replace this here, that becomes 2002 divided by 2004 into f of 2002. So you are able to find a trend here. So this becomes 2002 divided by 2004 into f of 2002. F of 2002 will be what? 2001 divided by 2003 into f of 2000. Start writing this always, okay? So if you observe one, the numerator is also decreasing by 1 and the denominator is also decreasing by 1. So this becomes 2000 by 2000 into, so observe what is happening. This is getting cancelled. So two terms are left out anyway. These two terms are getting cancelled and so on, so on, so on. Finally, you will have 1 by 3 of f of 1. Clear? And then this will be 2 by 4. of f of 1. So if you observe, all these terms will get cancelled. The numerator will have 2 terms left because I have to go further. And the denominator will also have 2 terms left if you have to go further. If you understand the trend, if you are finding it difficult, just break it down and calculate. How do I understand? If denominator has 2 terms left, wherever you stop, the numerator will also have 2 terms left. If you want to understand, let's understand till here only. So these two are getting cancelled. Denominator has 2 terms left, numerator has 2 terms left. Clear? Similarly, numerator will have last 2 terms left, denominator will have last 2 terms left. So 2004 will be 2 into 1 into f of 1. F of 1 is 2005 divided by 2005 into 2004. 5 gets cancelled. 2 ones are 2, 1002s are. Therefore, your answer becomes option B. That is 1 by 100. Clear, guys? So this becomes your complete answer. Right? So functions, understand when there's a series of functions given, you have to simplify on these lines. Now, this is a very interesting question, guys. Just 1 second. Yeah, sorry, guys. I just had a call. Yeah, so from a point X around a circular track of length 1.25 kilometers, 2 athletes, Santa and Banta, began running in simultaneously in the opposite direction with speeds of 6 and 2 respectively. At the time they crossed each other, 2 more athletes, Chunu and Munnu, started running. Okay, at the time they crossed each other. So if the total, now let's start doing strategically. So 6 is to 2, that means 3 is to 1. That means they are going to meet at 4 distinct points on the track. I'm dividing the track into 4 equal parts. Okay. When Santa is, let's say, traveling in this direction, Banta is traveling in this direction. So when Banta covers 1 part, Santa covers 3 parts. So this is the first meeting of, let's say, B1 and S1, where S1 is moving in this direction and B1 is moving in this direction. S1 is moving at 6 and B1 is moving at 2. Now, what happened at that time? 2 more athletes, Chunu and Munu, started from point X again. Let's say this is point X, starting point, towards Santa and Banta respectively. So who is moving towards Santa? Chunnu is moving towards Santa. Okay. Chunnu was running around the track in the direction opposite to Santa. Sorry. So Chunnu was running opposite to Santa. So Chunnu was running in this direction. And Munnu was running opposite to Banta. So Munnu was running in this direction. So Munnu was running at a speed of 6 and Chunnu was running at a speed of 2. Now, most of the questions, try to see the options. There is an option called they never meet. Okay. At what, after how many minutes will they always meet? Now, if they have to meet, then I know that, understand, B and C can never meet. Why can B and C never meet? Because B and C are moving in same direction and B and C are moving in same speeds also. Clear? Look at this. C is moving in this direction. B is also moving in this direction. B speed is 2. C speed is 2. So B and C will never meet. Similarly, if you observe, M and S will also never meet because they are running at same direction and they are also moving at same speeds. Who all can definitely meet? B can definitely meet M. S can definitely meet C. But if B, C, and MS cannot meet, that means all the 4 of them cannot be at the same point ever. So therefore, your answer very strategically here, or very commonsensical way here becomes they will never meet. Clear? Now, if you look at this question, holidays, what is the probability that Samara wins the game? Let's leave this probability for the class to complete on probability, and then we'll discuss this question. You can ignore this for the time being. Now, a very easy question again. Stockholm Riders is one of the 9 teams in British Premier League. Its win rate for 10 matches has been 30%. So out of 10 matches, it won 3 matches and lost 7 matches. What can be the minimum total number of matches to be played? Total number of matches. That means the question is asking the value of 10 plus X. So that it should have a rate of 60% winning rate. Clear? So if I want the minimum number of matches to be played to increase the winning rate, I'm assuming that he lost only 0 matches. Clear? Right? By winning all the matches, he would come up with. So the total number of losses we freeze is at 7 only. Clear? Right? But the question has clearly told you that if Stockholm Riders loses only 3 of the remaining matches, if it's only 3 of the remaining matches, I know that this guy has lost 3 matches out of X matches. So winning matches are X minus 3 and he has lost 10 matches. So you can do two ways, guys. If 10 matches is 40 percentage, because of 60% is winning, that means 40% is losing. So 10 matches is 40 percentage of total. So what is 100 percentage of total into 2.5 into 2.5, and therefore your answer directly here becomes 25. Need not go with X and all, right? 40% should be loss rate. So therefore there should be 25 matches. Clear, guys? Again, a very easy question here. In a mixing plant of Amul, 3 pipes P, Q, and R can fill the mixing tank from an empty tank in 30 minutes. So let's say P, Q, and R, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and 10 minutes respectively. When the tank is empty, all the 3 pipes are opened, and P discharges sugar solution. This guy discharges flavored solution, and this guy discharges milk. Okay. So total, let's say, is 60. This guy releases 2, 3, and 6 per minute. Okay. Now, what is the proportion of milk in the solution after 3 minutes? So effectively, in 1 minute, they are pouring 11 units of content. So in 3 minutes, they will pour 33 units of content. Clear? And I want only the milk content. Milk content will be 3 into 6. So 3 and 3 gets cancelled. So 6 by 11 will be the content of milk after 3 minutes altogether, right? So let's look at the next question, guys. Yep, let's look at this question, guys. So A1, A2, A3 are positive integers such that A1 is less than A2 and so on, so on, so on. Now the first hint is they are positive integers and in ascending order. Okay. Suppose their arithmetic mean is 1 less than the arithmetic mean of these terms. Okay. So I have A1 plus A2 plus A3, so on, so on, so on till A52. Okay. Now I'm told that the arithmetic mean of this is, if this is equal to, or let's say, if arithmetic mean of A2, 3 plus A3 plus A4, so on, so on, so on till A52 is equal to A. So the arithmetic mean is A minus 1. Arithmetic mean means this divided by 52, or that means into 52. And this divided by 51, that means this is into 51. Clear? If A52 is equal to 100, then find the largest possible value of A1. Now, if A52 is equal to 100 and these are positive integers, okay? Right? Now, if I take the gap of anything more than 1, clear? See, understand it. I want to maximize the value of this. Because only when I maximize this will get maximized. And if this is maximizing, then this will also be maximized. If this is maximized only, then A1 will be maximized. It's going like this. First, we need to maximize this because this will maximize this value. Then this will maximize this value. And then eventually this will maximize this value. So I want to maximize them, right? If I want to maximize them, now the best way to do is I need to pick up the largest possible arithmetic mean of these 52 terms. Right. And since these are positive integers, the best part is I try to keep the gap between those terms as minimum possible because they are in ascending order. They cannot be equal. If they can be equal, I could have assumed all of them to be equal. Clear? So if A2 is 52, so second series has 51 terms. 51 terms means 51 plus 1 by 2. That is 26th term will be the average. I'm converting this series into a series in arithmetic progression. Right? I repeat, the gap between each term should be minimum. And since they are positive integers, I cannot make them equal. So therefore, since they're positive integers, I'm keeping the gap is equal to 1. I cannot keep the gap is equal to 2 because then it becomes negative. Clear? Now, so A27 is the average. Right? So if I want A27's value, so this value is A27. And if A52 is 100 and I start reducing 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, Can I say A27 plus 25 more gaps should be equal to A52? Because after A27, you have 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, so on, so on, so on. You have 25 terms till A52. And each term has a gap of 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 each. It's something like this, guys. If A27 is equal to X, I'm taking A28 is equal to X plus 1. A29 is equal to X plus 2, so on, so on, so on. A52 will eventually be how much, guys? X plus 25. This is what we are looking at. The gap between those terms is equal to 1. Okay, so from here, what do you get? A27 is equal to 75, which is also equal to the value of capital A. Clear? So the sum of these terms becomes 75 into 51, right? So I'm writing it here. So A2 plus A3 plus A4, so on till A52 becomes 75 into 51, which is equal to 3825. I've just calculated that. Now this value becomes 74. So if you look at A1 plus A2, so on, so on, so on, till A52 is equal to 74 into 52, which will give you 3848. Now, if we subtract these two, all these terms will get cancelled. And eventually we have A1. A1 will be equal to how much, guys? 23. So the maximum value that A1 can take is equal to 23 given the condition. So very lovely question, a very difficult question. But if you're able to understand the logic much better, I need to maximize the sum. To maximize that, I need to maximize the value of average. To maximize the value of average, I need to keep the gap as 1 because they are in ascending order. So lot of tips and tricks are there, and that will help you to get your answer, guys. Clear? So let's look at the last question of the paper. Yep, let's look at this question, guys. So A, B, C, I, they are the quadrisets. Quadrisets means they're dividing the base into 4 parts. Okay. So I'm already given this ratio is given. Find the ratio of AD. So all I do is I can smartly write this as 1. Let's do this as 1, 2, 3. Clear? And write this as 4, 5, 6, and 7. Our job is to calculate the value of 7. Clear? Now, one easy way to look at this is we know that triangle ABH. Clear, guys? Triangle ABH will be 3 by 4 of. So let's not take triangle ABH. Let's take triangle AHC, which was dividing into 4 parts. Okay. AHC will be 1 by 4 of triangle ABC. AHC. Similarly, triangle BIC will also be equal to, because this is 1 part and the remaining is 3 parts, will be equal to 1 by 4 of ABC. Clear? And then I take triangle BAG will also be 1 by 4 of triangle ABC. Now observe what have we done if you're adding all these 4, guys. If you're adding all these 4, okay, let's talk about DEC, okay, or let's take triangle ABC, right? And from triangle ABC, let's say I'm subtracting AHC, BIC, and BAG. So triangle ABC is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 portion parts. AHC. AHC is how much, guys? 3 plus 5 plus 6. Clear? 1 second, guys. I just got a call. Sorry, guys. So BIC, what is BIC here? So the value of BIC is 1 plus 2 plus 3. I'm subtracting these, okay? So 3 has been subtracted 2 times. And what is BAG? BAG is 1 plus 4 plus 5. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clear? And 6. That means I have already subtracted 1 plus 3 plus 5 separately. That means I have to add back 1. What is 1? 1 is BFI. Clear? 1 is BFI. What is 3? 3 is EHC. And what is 5? 5 is ADG. Clear? So I repeat, this is 1 minus 1 by 4 of ABC into 3 plus. Okay, or this is ABC minus, okay? Clear, guys? So if I add back 3, 5, 6, that means I'm subtracting 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, and this will give me the triangle DEF. Okay. Now, what is BFI? If you observe BFI, what is FI, guys? FI is here. FI is 2 parts. Now look at BFI, okay? In triangle BCI, what did I do? The triangle BCI, one second, guys. Yeah, the triangle BCI, what do we get? We get that, can I say triangle BFI is equal to 1/4 of the triangle BCI? Sorry, this is FI. IF is 2 parts, so 2/4. Now what is BIC? BIC is 1/4 of ABC. Clear? So I can write BFI is equal to 1/2 of 1/4 of ABC. That is equal to 1/8. Similarly, if you go with EHC also, you get EHC. If you observe EHC, I will take with the triangle. EHC is how much, guys? Clear? If you take EHC, we can take to the triangle AHC. Now EH is 2 parts, and this is 1 part and this is 1 part. So EHC will be again 1/2 of AHC. AHC is 1/4 of ABC. So eventually what do you have here, guys? You get 1/8 of ABC into 3. So effectively, what am I looking at? I'm looking at ABC minus 3/4 of ABC plus 1/8 of ABC. Sorry, 3/8 of ABC. So let's multiply this as 8/8. I am making into 2/2. So what do I have here? ABC is common. This becomes 8/8 minus 6/8 plus 3/8. That is 2 plus 3 is 5/8. So finally you get 5/8 of ABC will be the value of C. So very good and a very interesting question. You can always make the areas equal and get your answers, guys. Right? Or you can look at the common base and the common height. In this case, if I'm looking at why is it 1:2, because I'm taking in triangle BFI, last 1 minute, guys. In triangle BFI, I am taking FI is the base, extended base, or IC is the extended base. Clear? So accordingly, when you have extended base and the same height, then you get the ratio of the areas is nothing but the ratio of the bases, and that should give you your answers, guys. Clear? So that's it from this paper. And I think a good score would be somewhere around 35 to 40 will be a very good score. I think somewhere around 30 plus should be a good score. But yes, the paper also gave us enough scope to also answer the questions easily. So your job is to do the question selection properly and maximize your score, guys. Right? So thank you for now. All the best, guys, and keep learning. Thank you.